What's up, everybody? The Boxing Source here once again with my guy, Mr. No Excuse, Lamont Roach Sr.
Yes, sir.
Of course, coming off of that great event Saturday at Maryland Live. Went, very, very well there at Maryland Live. A number of the fighters there showed up and showed out. Your fighters showed up and showed out on that card, man. So how you feeling after that whole event went down?
Man, feeling good, man. It was a great night of boxing. The DMV showed out. You had the contender series, and some of these guys, man, was ranked top 10 in their division, man. They showed out as well, man. So it was a beautiful night, man. I was happy to see the face and expression of some of the fighters from the area as they competed on the nationwide stage, man. So I was happy for that, man. And of course, got the two from the gym. They got the win as well.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Of course, there with your son, Jordan Roach, getting the win, and Ben Johnson, of course. As he said, he don't get paid for overtime. So another first-round stoppage victory for Ben Johnson, too, there in that fight card. So he definitely had the no excuse showing out there in that particular fight card. And then also, of course, with the main event, Jordan White getting a decision victory there. And, hey, Stephen Shaw with the highlight reel. First round knockout, man. That was like, man.
That was bad. That was mean right there.
Yeah.
Man. It was mean.
Yeah, it was mean. I mean, I think he tried to do Francois Scarborough because he had something himself, too.
Scarborough was mean, too. Scarborough, that overhand, man,
yeah.
was beautiful, man.
Yeah,
Scarborough showed out for sure, man. All of them did good, man. Dave had a hell of a performance as well. Dave Whitmire got the stoppage in the last round. It was good, man. You had Dwayne Holmes. Showed out, looked sharp. Irvin Fuller looked sharp. It was good, man. It was a good night of boxing, man, for the area, man, overall.
Yep, no doubt, no doubt. Not only you have the thing there with No Excuse Gym, you have Andrew Council's in there. Of course, you got Hel Crescio that was representing that fight card as well. So everybody from the DMV was showing out.
I had Reese on the card. This fight fell out in the back, man. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to give him a look. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, it didn't happen as boxing, but but I tried, and he was ready, man. That was gonna be a hell of a fight he had lined up, but it didn't work out. Had Shaquille Daly scheduled. He couldn't get no opponent last minute, but I'm trying to give everybody some love, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's about, showing love here to the DMV area as much as you can. And, sometimes, that's what it is as far as like working these fight cards, man. one of the biggest things about doing a fight card is finding the opponents, man. I mean, that be one of the toughest things out there to do is try to find, the opponents, find the right opponents, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough, man. Sometimes you get them, then they fall out. Then you search for replacement, it's tough last minute. Because especially with how good these fighters is locally, so people don't want to fight them, you know what I'm saying? But I try all my power too, man. And sometimes it don't work out, but most of the time it does, because I'm going to give it my all to get these guys fights, man. Even if it's paying more than the market value, man, I do that as well.
Yep, exactly. That be the thing I think a lot of folks don't realize is that once you have something planned out and it don't go according to plan, you got your guy, and you want to make sure that your guy gets in the ring there in that fight card. Hey, maybe you have to, you know what I'm saying, shell a little bit more in order to make sure that happens.
Sometimes it happens like that, you know what I'm saying? But, I've been putting it on for the area, man. We had even Erkan, if no one want to mention, forget to mention Erkan Nandez. He took an L. He's from Virginia, you know what I'm saying? So he'll bounce back, We're going to put him back on, too, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to show that, you can bounce back, losses don't determine, how we operate over here with No Excuse and ProBox. So we get Erkan Nandez back in there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing about, having a contender series is, making sure that, you have these guys that are trying to get their way up the ranks and everything like that, and also make sure that they're as active as possible. So, like we were having there with the last one, that was at Rose Park Raceway, and then, now you got this here, at Maryland Live, that make sure that it says, hey, we got something consistent going on over here to say that, a number of the fighters here in the area, they could build up, get themselves up in the rankings and get themselves in a position to, fight for, like area titles, other titles there within the sanctioned bodies, or get themselves in a position for a world title.
There you go. We had what we consider the Rising Star Series. You know what I'm saying? We had that with Scarborough, Jordan, Ben, Dave, and them guys going down. And then you had the Contender Series. The Contenders guys were going to go on to championship boxing. And then the Rising Stars were going to continue. So you watch these fighters grow right before your eyes, right on ProBox TV. You know what I'm saying? So that's a story that people can follow, man. So make sure y'all subscribe to ProBox and follow NoXcuse Promotions, man, because it just getting started, man. We about to do great things.
Yeah, exactly. It's about, you know, what's next, but also what's now, and you can pretty much have a mix of both of that there, you know, with NoXcuse Promotions having their series there on ProBox TV. So as he said, you know, make sure y'all subscribe there to ProBox TV. Check YouTube there periodically. You'll have more updates there with NoXcuse Promotions, and later events that'll come up here later on this year. So you had, like, you know, more stuff that's been going on out in the scene. Of course, you know, you had what happened there on March 1st. We talked a lot about that. You know what I mean? After that, you know, we kind of like, you know, dilly-dallied around it a little bit. And it seems like they dancing around, you know, trying to get this thing going. I'm like, yo, we trying to get this back. We trying to run it back, you know? So it's like, what's up?
Yeah, we try to run it back, man. It's going to happen, man, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, we patiently wait, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be ready when the time comes. So we in the gym, training. We ain't going to stay out of the gym. We're going to stay ready. I expect something to have an announcement to come pretty soon, man. We're going to run it back, man. It's the best fight out there in boxing right now, in my opinion. Everybody want to see it, highly anticipated. And the second match is going to be better than the first, man. So tune in.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing I thought, you know what I'm saying? You know, being around, you know, both camps, or, you know, hearing from both camps or something like that. Like, you know, with the thing with the first one, you pretty much like had something that was lined up, but then it, like, you know, fell through, and then it got back up. But it's like, oh no, you ain't gonna catch us slipping. So we gonna stay here, we gonna stay active, we ain't gonna rest for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, you know, you were still out there, you know, in the gym working with your son there, Lamont Jr., you know, whether it was around this area, around Florida or whatnot. So, hey, this pretty much could be the same situation, because, you know, for me, you know, I heard, you know, maybe like one date, I'm like, and then I say, hey, you know what? If you ain't hearing nothing about this time, then guess what? You might hear it for another day. So, I mean, that's what it's looking like here for this current situation. You feel me?
Yeah, so, man, I'm just waiting. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see. Everybody is anticipating it, and everybody seeing different dates out there. The announcement going to come. You're going to hear from the right pages. You're going to hear from, when it do come, you're going to hear from the promoter's page and the fighter's page. And that's going to be the official announcements. So there's a lot of stuff floating around that could be true, can not be true. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see, but I'm sure that when it is announced and we start to get ready to boogie. Yeah,
no doubt. Now, you know, with that being said, you know, we had the comments that were after that first fight from Lamont Roach Sr. We had comments there from Jordan Roach about making sure that you end up being 2025 Trainer of the Year. Okay, what do you feel it would take for you to be named a 2025 Trainer of the Year?
But I leave that up to them, to be honest with you, man. I don't worry about that stuff, you know what I'm saying? The work gonna speak for itself, you know what I'm saying? As long as they keep winning, my goal is to get them to achieve their goals, you know what I'm saying? Get them to the right fights, guide their careers, and put them in position, you know, to be successful in this sport, you know what I'm saying? So the other stuff take care of itself, you know. If they consider me for that, I'll be honored, more than honored, but that's not something I'm worried about, to be honest with you. I'm trying to get this right. I'm trying to get this fight on, man. So that's what's first and foremost. So
yeah,
we're gonna see what happens. You know what I'm saying? We know, and I know a lot of people eager and things like that. It's boxing for you, though. Sometimes they announce early, sometimes they announce late. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, hopefully we announce and hopefully we get it on.
Gotcha. Of course, you know, you've been, you know, definitely hard at work with the amateur circuit there. We got something big coming up in Las Vegas here in the summer. I talked with Lashawn Jenkins. He has something in the works before that competition in Las Vegas. So talk about a number of the amateurs that'll be doing their thing here in the next couple months.
Yeah, we're getting ready for the Nationals out in Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? We got some talented young fighters coming out in the gym. They next up. You know what I'm saying? We invest heavy in our amateur program. We're going to continue to do that. And the cycle will keep going on, man. They got a lot of people look up in the gym, and and they excited what's to come for them. But you can't skip the steps, you can't skip the process. So we got some work to do in these nationals to get them ready, man. Because everybody time different. Some might go before the other ones, but we're gonna keep on pursuing these amateur tournaments to get them properly prepared for the next level.
Gotcha. You know, that's the thing about it is get them prepared, you know, day by day, step by step, making sure that they stay sharp. You know what I mean? To, you know, be able to compete there in the amateurs and all the competitions that come up there. So, you know, that's the, of course, the rundown there, the latest update there of No Excuse Gym, NoXcuse Promotions with Mr. No Excuse himself, Lamont Roach Sr. Big thanks here to Chop It Up with the Boxing Source as always. And, you know, we're going to catch up with more here later on.
Oh, man, appreciate you.
Yes, sir.